everybody, welcome to this late edition of this week's Taco Clock. I just came back from the cinema, that's why I was unable to upload this week's vlog at an earlier time. But I hope you don't mind watching it a day later or maybe just later in your time zone. Anyway, what happened this week? I did the crafty frames for my art piece this week, which was ordered by my parents who got a new kitchen and wanted some new decoration for one of the empty walls. So they just passed me those 3 white IKEA frames and said, do something with it that fits in. So I did that and I had a ton of fun with it, especially the one with the buttons. That's my favorite frame. I really liked it. And I did not really encounter any difficulties while producing the pieces. They just turned out the way I wanted them to be and I imagined them to be. So it was rather easy. And tomorrow I'm gonna drive by my parents' house and give them the frames and see if they like them and if they fit into the kitchen the way we all imagined them to fit in. So yeah, that was that. I didn't do the art journal for this week yet because I was rather busy, but I do have an idea about what I want to do for this week's art journal, so I'm gonna do that probably tomorrow afternoon or maybe early Tuesday morning. But I did a lot of photo art stuff this week to compensate. I edited all the photos of the video and photo shoot with the band that I did a couple of weeks ago, so that is done, and I already did another tiny project for them, so there's only one more left so far before the concert. So this is what's gonna be done next week as well. Also, art-wise, I had a photo shoot on Saturday morning with a friend at our house, and I have to edit all the photos there. So next week I will probably be working day and night because there's just so many things to do. Regarding board games, this week was rather slow in the beginning. We had a couple of rounds of love letter, only my husband and I, during the week because both him and I were so busy and worked so many hours this week that we did not want to play a whole long game. But on Friday we had a gaming night with a group of friends. We were 5 people, and we played another round of Battlestar Galactica. And as you might remember, last time my sweet husband was the Cylon and won the game. So I teased him right from the beginning, hi, you're the Cylon again because you know how to play, blah. And I was sitting between my husband and my very good friend, who's just to point him out, he's an awesome guy that is very dear to my heart, and we call each other, I call him my brother from another mother, and he calls me the sister respectively, because it really sometimes is crazy how similar we are, and we just make fun of that. So I was sitting between those 2 guys, and in the beginning, the first phase, all seemed to be human. We were good, we played fine, I had a ton of fun. In the second phase, I was still human, and I knew that there were 2 Cylons on the table, but I misjudged another friend and thought he was one of them and helped putting him into the prison and ultimately killing him. And it turned out that my brother from another mother and my sweet husband were the Cylons. And you can imagine my anger and frustration once I realized who the bad guys were, and that I was at least 50% right in the beginning, by saying, well, my husband has to be one of the Cylons because, well, otherwise the world would not be what it's right now. Anyway, there's no logic behind it. So I was super frustrated. And they teased me like for the rest of the night. And I was complaining for the rest of the night and yesterday and today. And I was allowed to do that because I promised them after I produced this vlog and told that story for one more time and telling everybody that I felt so betrayed. And that I would, after I have done this vlog, stop it and be nice again and not tease them all the time and with every game say, oh, well, you're the Cylon, you're the bad guy, I'm gonna lose. With a huge smile on my face because they reacted to it. So, yeah. By later tonight I have to be nice again. Anyway, we also played a short round of Resistance on Friday night, and my husband was the spy, so again, bad person. However, I got a payback on Saturday night, and I just have to take a sip of wine. On Saturday night, it was just him and me at home, and we played Mansion of Madness for the first time. We have this game on our shelf for more than a year now. But we decided that we don't want to play the game before all of the miniatures are painted. And since this is a big hobby of my husband, I gave him a lot of time. Anyway, Mansions of Madness was a great game. And even only playing as a two-player game, one being the keeper, so the bad guy, playing against the investigator, which was me, I could see that the mechanics would work really well when you have like 4 or 5 player group. So I can't wait to test that out with our big gaming group. Anyway, it took quite a while to set up the game, but I have to say it was the first time that we played, so we had to go through the rule book again, like from scratch, so that might not take as much time in the future when we know the mechanics and don't have to read that much. But the story is great, and I like the artwork, and I like the mechanics with the mini puzzles and the monsters that you have to fight against, and finding the clues in certain rooms and deciding what to do and where to go. I really like that, and I won that game with my last action that I could do before the keeper would win the game. I won because I killed a certain monster in the game, and that was my objective for the first game. So I really like that. To finish off the night, we played a short round of Dungeon Roll, which is a sweet little game that you can play like for if you have like 15 minutes or something, and you're a hero. You go into a dungeon and you fight against monsters or dragons, and you want to collect treasures and victory points. And one player plays the dungeon master and the other one plays the guy going in and fighting. And it's only a dice rolling game. There's nothing big, like a huge stack of cards or something. You just get your character card and a card with all the steps that you could do, and that's it. And you have like little cardboard tokens as treasure items. So you just go into the dungeon and say, okay, I want to fight first round. The player that is the dungeon keeper plays rolls one die, and then you have to fight against that monster. Next round it's two dice, and so on and so on. And you can say when, and then you can stop and get the victory points and the treasures, and then you change roles, and the other one is the keeper or the hero, respectively. So we played that, and I won that game too. So I got the payback for the Cylon against my hubby, and I like that. We also played a short round of Love Letter, which my husband won by 1 point. But that was totally okay. I did not mind losing there. So yeah, that was gaming this week. We did something else. Haha, I just remembered. We had another round of Zombicide on Saturday after the photo shoot. The guy that I did the shooting with and his kind of like brother-in-law, because they're not actually married but lived together for a long time. After the photo shoot, both of them being board gamers, we tried out Zombicide just for a quick round and a cup of coffee, having a chat before they left to do whatever they wanted to do. And we won pretty easily against the zombies, but we played the easiest chapter just to show them, because they wanted to know what Zombicide feels like, if they want to buy it for their big gaming group or not. And so we just made a test game, which went pretty well, and I played one die again. And I did not suck that much with my dice this time, so it was a good week. What else happened? Random shit. It was kind of a weird week here. I struggled a bit with the typical mild winter, early spring weather in my region, which gives me heavy migraines. So this week was kind of slow on purpose. But it was not too bad. I was still able to work for one, and definitely had hours a day where I was not disturbed by the shitty weather, which made me tired and whatnot. I don't know if did I do anything? Oh, yeah, I was in, like I said, in cinema twice. On Monday, we watched a documentary in a very small, kind of like artsy cinema in Düsseldorf, which is like an hour away from me, together with two friends, and had African food up front for dinner, and it was so yummy, so yummy. The film was about Beltracci, who is an artist born in a city pretty close to us, and fooled everybody in this high society art world with forgeries that he did of very famous paintings. He did not copy a known painting, but painted pictures in the style of that artist and fitted them into a gap that was in the life story of that said artist, whomever it was. So he fooled everybody that he had the lost pictures of. I don't know whom he forged, but it was Carpentong or something like that. Anyway, and the interesting thing was that he was able to sell those forgeries for 5 million and more and give the middle finger to everybody at Christie's and Sotheby's and whatever they're called. And on the other hand, of course, he's in prison now, so they caught him because he signed the pictures, and that's when in Germany it's a crime. Otherwise, it's not a crime to copy a picture. But when you go for the signature, oh boy. But he didn't have this view of his art really being art the way other people perceive it, because he says it's no passion for him, it's just something he can do very well, and he does not invest any deep feelings into his paintings, which I found very interesting, being a painter myself, because everything about me is in my paintings, whether it's a pre-ordered piece or if it's just something I want to paint for myself. There's always heart and soul in my paintings, and he says there's none of that in his painting, and I'm not sure yet if I believe that, but I could understand his point, and especially since he forges paintings, it might just be about the handiwork, the craft of painting, the technique. But he did it for so long, and he painted a couple of paintings, originals, that I think there has to be some soul and heart in one of his paintings at least. So anyway, this documentary was really interesting. I really liked the film. And today we watched the new Wes Anderson movie, also in Düsseldorf, but in another cinema. And it's called Grand Budapest Hotel, and it has a lot of big stars on it, and it was beautifully shot. Typically, it was a typical Wes Anderson movie, like from the look of it and the way he directs the camera and stuff. But the story was not as open-ended as I know it from other films of him, which I liked in this case because I really, really fell in love with the story. And I'm not gonna spoil it because you gotta watch that movie. But yeah, I really enjoyed tonight, and we had a Turkish dinner beforehand. We were 5 people going to the movies together, so I really enjoyed that. Well, week is over. New week is to come, and it's gonna be very busy. I have a lot of things to do, a lot of paintings to do that I have kind of a deadline for. So birthdays and whatnot is coming up for people, and I have to paint something nice. Ooh. But first, the red wine. It's a nice Shiraz. I love it. So now, I'm going off now, having a chat with a friend and maybe editing some photos, and then I'm gonna prepare myself for the new week. I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful Sunday, enjoyed the weekend itself, and had a great week. And I hope to see you next Sunday, hopefully earlier in the day, on Talk O'Clock, and enjoy the next week. Bye bye!